Hey there. Ready for a deep dive into some seriously cool AI research? You sent us a ton of stuff from arXiv, and we're excited to dig in.
It is exciting to see this level of interest in AI agents.
Yeah, looks like you're especially interested in AI agents.
The field is really exploding right now.
Which makes sense. It's one of the hottest topics in AI right now.
And these papers you sent represent some of the most important threads of research happening today.
So, for anyone just tuning in,
Oh, sure.
let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
AI agents, what are we even talking about here?
Imagine a computer program that can learn, make decisions, and take action in the real world. That's an AI agent in a nutshell.
So like those chatbots everyone's talking about, but like on another level.
Exactly. But AI agents are going for much bigger things than just answering questions.
Okay, so what kinds of things we're talking about? What can they actually do?
We're talking self-driving cars, personalized medicine, even solving complex global challenges.
Okay, now that's pretty wild. But enough with the hype. Let's get into these papers.
Let's do it.
Where do we even begin with all this groundbreaking research?
Well, you've got two papers here.
Okay.
The first two on the list.
Okay.
Both digging into the power of teamwork AI style.
Teamwork. Like those cheesy motivational posters. There's no I in AI.
Pretty much. We call them multi-agent systems, or MAS.
Okay.
The first paper breaks down how these AI agents collaborate, especially in those virtual sandboxes where they do their learning.
So they can work together.
Yeah, it's like a team of specialist AI agents, each with its own strengths.
Oh, cool.
All working towards a common goal.
So two AI heads are better than one.
In many cases, yes.
When you put it like that, it kind of seems obvious.
It really does.
What about that second paper?
Yeah.
It mentions something about context, right?
Exactly. This one's all about making these AI teams smarter.
Okay.
Not just about throwing more agents at a problem.
Right.
It's about giving them that real-world awareness.
Okay.
Like knowing when to change tactics based on what's happening around them.
So, like, instead of just knowing how to play chess, they also know they shouldn't make a move while the building's on fire.
You got it. It's about making sure their actions make sense in the context of the situation.
Okay.
This is huge for things like managing traffic in a city.
I see what you mean.
Imagine AI agents directing traffic, but they're also factoring in rush hour, accidents, even a sudden downpour.
Okay, now that's next level stuff.
Yeah.
But hold on. If these AI agents are calling the shots on traffic, don't we want to make sure they're making the right calls?
Absolutely.
I mean, how do we keep them in check?
That's the million-dollar question.
I bet.
And it's the focus of this next paper number 3 on our list.
Okay.
It dives into the idea of visibility when it comes to AI agents.
Visibility. So like making sure they show up on time for work.
Well, sort of.
Okay.
It's more about making sure we can understand what they're doing and why.
Yeah.
This paper explores ways to monitor AI agents, track their actions, and analyze their decisions, kind of like having a transparent audit trail.
So no rogue AI agents going all Mission Impossible on us.
Not if we can help it. It's all about keeping AI agents accountable.
That makes sense for the bigwigs designing these systems. But why should I, the average Joe, care about AI transparency?
Because as these AI agents become more intertwined with our lives,
Yeah.
understanding how they work, how they're being monitored, that's our ticket to making informed decisions about the future we're building. It's like knowing what ingredients are in the food you eat.
Right. We want to know what's going on behind the scenes, especially with something this powerful. Speaking of powerful, 2 words. Large language models.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about them now. They're showing up in papers 4 and 5.
LLMs are the rock stars of AI right now.
That's for sure. Everyone's talking about them.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
They're essentially giving AI agents a serious language upgrade.
So instead of just processing ones and zeros, they can actually understand and use language like you and me.
Exactly. But it's not just about understanding language. It's about using language to reason, to plan, even to come up with creative solutions, all things we thought were uniquely human.
Okay, now this is where it gets a little freaky, right?
Yeah.
Like, are we giving these AI agents too much power? What if they start writing their own to-do lists? Take over the world, number 1.
Paper 5 dives right into that.
Oh, no.
Those be careful what you wish for concerns.
Okay.
While LLMs offer incredible potential, this paper doesn't shy away from the potential downsides. Things like job displacement as AI agents become more capable, the possibility of misuse, and yes, even those Skynet-like scenarios.
Okay, that just sent shivers down my spine. So how do we balance this incredible potential with the very real concerns raised in Paper 5?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? It's a challenge, but that's why research like this is crucial. By bringing these issues to light, we can start figuring out how to build safeguards, ethical guidelines, basically how to make sure we're using this technology for good.
Makes sense. So we've got AI agents teaming up, becoming more aware of their surroundings, and now they're fluent in human language. What's next? Do they get their own Netflix special?
Well, they're certainly moving beyond the written word.
Okay.
Paper 6 takes us beyond the realm of language and into the world of multimodal interaction.
Multimodal interaction sounds like something out of Star Trek.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
We humans experience the world through multiple senses, right? Sight, sound, touch.
Right.
Multimodal AI agents are being designed to do the same, process images, sounds, and potentially even more in the future.
Hold on. So we're teaching AI to see and hear. That's some next level stuff.
Yeah.
Give me an example. How would this work in the real world?
Imagine an AI customer service agent that can not only understand what you're saying, but also read your facial expressions, your tone of voice, to provide a more empathetic and personalized response.
Okay, that's impressive. No more arguing with those robotic voices on the phone.
Precisely. Or think about healthcare. AI agents analyzing medical images, lab reports, even listening to a patient's heartbeat to help doctors make more accurate diagnoses.
This is blowing my mind. This multimodal thing is like giving AI agents superpowers.
It's definitely a game changer.
For sure.
In fact, there's a helpful visual in the paper, a diagram of how a multimodal AI agent system might work. It's one thing to talk about it, but seeing it really helps to connect the dots.
Definitely adding that to my must-see list. So we've got AI agents collaborating, understanding context, speaking our language, and now they're developing their senses. What else is left? What other mysteries are these papers hiding?
Well, as you can imagine, building these systems is incredibly complex.
I bet.
The next couple of papers, 7 and 8, get into the nuts and bolts of how these AI agents actually learn. And believe me, it's not for the faint of heart.
Okay, time to buckle up. We're going deep into the world of AI brain power. Okay, so we're strapping in for a wild ride into the learning process of an AI agent.
Well, maybe not a wild ride. More like a deep dive into some seriously cool algorithms.
Okay.
These papers focus on reinforcement learning, which is how AI agents learn through trial and error.
So kind of like how we learn to ride a bike. You fall off a few times, but eventually you get the hang of it.
Exactly. Except instead of scraped knees, AI agents learn from data rewards and a whole lot of computation paper. 7 and 8 dive into the nitty-gritty of this process, and it gets pretty complex.
Well, try to keep it simple for those of us who don't speak fluent algorithm. What's the key takeaway here?
Imagine teaching a dog a new trick, but the trick keeps changing and the environment is unpredictable. That's the challenge these researchers are tackling, training AI agents to navigate the real world with all its messiness and uncertainty. That's the next frontier.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
What's stopping these AI agents from learning all the wrong lessons? How do we make sure they're learning to be, well, good?
That's the heart of the matter, isn't it? And it brings us to paper 9,
Okay.
which tackles one of the biggest questions facing AI today.
Okay, hit me. Okay, so time for the philosophical part of our AI journey. What are the ethical hot topics when it comes to these brainy bots?
Well, as AI agents become more sophisticated and autonomous,
Right.
the question becomes, how do we make sure their decisions align with our values?
That's a good question.
Paper 9 dives into the importance of designing AI agents that not only achieve their goals,
Right.
but do so in a way that's ethical and responsible.
So no cutting corners or bending the rules, even if it means the AI could achieve its goals faster.
Exactly. We need to make sure AI is a force for good in the world.
Right.
Which means thinking carefully about the values we're embedding in these systems. It's like raising a child. You want them to be successful, but not at the expense of their morals.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do you even begin to teach an AI agent about ethics? It's not like you can just hand them a philosophy textbook.
You're right, it's not that simple. This paper highlights the challenges of translating something as complex as human ethics into a set of rules or algorithms for AI agents to follow.
So it's not just a matter of programming in don't steal or be polite.
Not quite. We're talking about nuanced situations, gray areas, the kinds of ethical dilemmas that even humans grapple with.
Right?
How do you program an AI to make the right call when there are multiple right answers, each with its own set of consequences?
Okay, that's starting to sound like a headache. Any potential solutions on the horizon? Or are we stuck with morally ambiguous AI agents?
Researchers are exploring different approaches.
Okay.
And Paper 9 suggests that one promising avenue is to focus on creating environments where AI agents can learn and adapt their ethical decision-making through interaction and feedback.
So instead of hard-coding ethics into them, we're creating a space where they can develop their own moral compass.
In a way, yes.
Uh-huh.
It's about giving them the tools and the space to learn through trial and error, just like we do. Of course, this comes with its own set of challenges and risks.
Oh, I bet.
Yep.
Like, what happens if their AI moral compass points them in a direction we didn't anticipate?
That's a valid concern, and it highlights the importance of constant monitoring and adjustment as these systems evolve.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of deal.
Not at all. This is an ongoing process, and it requires collaboration between AI developers, ethicists, policymakers, and society as a whole.
Everyone's got to work together to make sure we're building an AI-powered future we can all feel good about. It's a team effort. Speaking of teams, these papers keep coming back to the idea of multiple AI agents working together. In fact, Paper 10 dives into this world of multi-agent systems, right?
It does, and it highlights a fascinating challenge.
What's that?
How do you ensure ethical behavior not just within a single AI agent, but across an entire network of them?
Okay, so now we're talking about AI ethics on a whole other level.
Yeah.
AI ethics across a whole network of agents. It's like trying to herd digital cats.
Laughs. It's definitely a whole new level of complexity. Imagine a team of AI agents working together, each with its own goals and motivations. How do you make sure they don't step on each other's toes, or worse, end up working at cross purposes in a way that harms humans?
Okay, that makes sense. So what's the solution? Do we need to create some kind of AI rulebook? Thou shalt not steal thy fellow AI's data.
It's not quite that simple. Paper 10 explores the idea of using something called mechanism design
Okay.
to create systems where AI agents are incentivized to behave ethically even when they're interacting with each other.
Mechanism design. Sounds intense. Break that down for me.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
In any system, whether it's a human society or a network of AI agents, you need rules and incentives to encourage certain behaviors. Mechanism design is about figuring out the best set of rules and rewards to ensure that the system as a whole behaves in a desirable way.
So like instead of just telling the AI agents be good, we're creating a system where being good is also the most rewarding option.
Exactly. It's about aligning their incentives with our values.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
But it also sounds incredibly complex to design. Are we even close to being able to do this effectively?
It's definitely an active area of research, and there's still a lot we don't know. But the insights from Paper 10 suggest that mechanism design could be a key tool in ensuring ethical behavior in multi-agent AI systems.
Well, fingers crossed they figure it out. This whole deep dive has been a wild ride, from the technical nitty-gritty to these big-picture ethical questions. I have to say, it's a lot to wrap your head around.
It certainly is, but that's the exciting thing about AI. It's constantly pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible, and it's forcing us to ask some really tough questions about ourselves and the future we're creating.
Absolutely. So to our listener, we've barely scratched the surface of this incredible field. If you're as fascinated by AI agents as we are, keep digging into that arcase goldmine you sent us. There's a whole universe of knowledge out there just waiting to be explored. Who knows what mind-blowing breakthroughs are just around the corner.
And remember, the future of AI isn't just about algorithms and data. It's about us, the humans who are shaping it. So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
Well said. That's a wrap on today's deep dive into the world of AI agents. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating journey into the world of cutting-edge research. Until then, keep exploring.